A cold Michigan evening sits over a quiet house in Muskegon County. November air hangs still around the trees, the kind of stillness that settles over small towns when the year draws to an end. Inside this home, a family moves through an ordinary fall day. Parents, 2 sons, a girlfriend, and a visiting grandfather. Nothing loud, nothing unusual. Just November calm. But on November 29, 1998, the quiet inside this house would end. Behind closed doors, tensions had been building for months. Conflicts, rules, pressure. And before the day was over, 5 members of this family would be dead, all killed from within the home. This is Shadow Lore. This is the Privacky family massacre, one of Michigan's darkest domestic tragedies, carried out during a season meant for togetherness. Muskegon County, Michigan, a rural edge town where winters fall heavy and the days fade early. By November, most homes move into a quiet rhythm: work, school, family routines. The Privacky household was no exception. Inside lived Henry and Marcia Privacky, their 2 sons, Jed and Seth, and on this November week, Jed's girlfriend, April Boss, and a visiting grandfather, John Michael. A typical Midwestern family, a quiet street, a home that rarely drew attention. But tensions inside the Privacky family had been building long before this fall. Police reports and later testimony confirmed long-term conflicts, arguments over behavior, rules, and responsibility. For 18-year-old Seth, those conflicts had become a daily weight. No dramatic scenes, no public warnings, just friction that never seemed to settle. And as November 29th approached, what looked like an ordinary family home was already carrying months of strain beneath the surface. Nothing outside this house suggested what was coming, but inside, the pressure was reaching a point it could no longer hold. November 29, 1998, a Sunday, cold, quiet, and unremarkable to anyone outside the Privacky home. Inside, tensions that had stretched for months reached their breaking point. At some point that day, 18-year-old Seth Privacky shot and killed his father, Henry, his mother, Marcia, his brother, Jed, his brother's girlfriend, April Boss, and his visiting grandfather, John Michael. Every detail in this sequence comes from police findings and court records. 5 family members, all killed by gunfire inside their own home. There were no neighbors who heard anything unusual, no commotion reported, just silence, the kind that let the crime go unnoticed for hours. In the aftermath, Seth made a decision that would pull someone else into the tragedy. He called a friend, Stephen Wallace. According to Wallace's own statements, he arrived at the house after the shootings. What he walked into was a crime already committed, and instead of leaving, he helped Seth with what came next. Together, they moved the bodies, attempting to conceal the killings. They tried to create the outline of an alibi, something that might delay the truth, even if only briefly. But a crime of this scale rarely stays hidden for long. And by the next day, what happened inside the Privacky home would come to light. The next day, November 30th, the quiet around the Privacky home finally broke. Family members and acquaintances became concerned. They couldn't reach anyone inside the house, and what they eventually found triggered an immediate call to law enforcement. Deputies from Muskegon County arrived and entered the residence. Inside, they discovered the bodies of Henry, Marcia, Jed, April Boss, and John Michael, all dead from gunshot wounds. The investigation began immediately. Detectives quickly identified inconsistencies in the scene, and within hours, Seth Privacky became the primary focus. Statements from witnesses, physical evidence, and later admissions placed him at the center of the murders. Ballistic testing matched the recovered firearm, and in the days that followed, Seth confessed.
I think that's the one baffling part of this case, that to this day we can't understand why he committed this mass murder.
Privacky gave some indications when he confessed to then-Detective Dennis Edwards 12 years ago. Said he was mad at his father.
He wanted to purchase a car and his father wouldn't let him.
But no reason why he killed both of his parents, his grandfather, his brother, and his brother's girlfriend. And in court for sentencing, he offered only an apology.
I'm sorry for what I did, but that's hardly enough.
This tag says, is enough.
Attention then turned to Stephen Wallace. Wallace acknowledged he helped move the bodies and assisted in covering up the crime, though he denied being present for the shootings themselves. Police classified him as a participant after the fact. The legal outcomes were decisive. Seth Privacky was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Stephen Wallace received a separate sentence for his role in attempting to hide the killings. In Muskegon County, a community known for quiet falls and steady routines, the Privacky case left a lasting mark. A family wiped out from within, during a season when most households prepare to come together. This is the story of the Privacky family massacre, a tragedy born out of long-standing tension, carried out behind closed doors, and remembered as one of Michigan's darkest domestic crimes. In a quiet Michigan home, 5 lives ended in a single November day. A family undone, not by an intruder, but from within, through conflict that grew until it broke. Cases like this leave no simple answers, only the reminder that even in seasons of closeness, some homes hold fractures no one sees. If you want more real cases where the truth is darker than fiction, stay with us. True crime, real horror, shadow lore, where every darkness hides a story. Subscribe if you dare.